Hey, good evening, fam. Good evening. Hope all is well with everybody. Hope all is well with everybody. Listen, so today I have another good one for you, right? And lately, if you guys are following me, you know I've been doing a lot of talks in reference to retirement planning and things as such, right? And I'm getting a lot of these. I actually get them daily from different sources, Money Wise, Yahoo News, Money Market, like just different publication that I get these articles from. And these are actually people who are, I guess, writing to these publications and trying to find a way. You know what I'm saying? Trying to find a way. So this one says, I'm 55 and plan to retire in a few years, but have nothing saved. Can I start saving now and still retire comfortably? Right? I'm 55 and plan to retire in a few years, but have nothing saved. Can I start saving now and still retire comfortably? Now, if you guys have been following me for a while, I think the first time I did a topic on this was, I believe it was November of last year, when AARP dropped the article. And in that article, it talks about people between the age range of 50 to 66. And 20% of the people in that age range have zero retirement savings. That's millions of people in that age range that have $0. Okay, and another 80% of those people don't have enough at all, or don't feel as though that they can retire comfortably. So, coincidentally, this article came in today, and she's amongst those people, who don't have anything saved up, right? And life happens to everybody. Some people, let's say they start raising their kids, later in life, or start having kids later in life. Let's say they went through a divorce. Let's say they lost jobs, a few times. They had to start over quite a few times. We don't know. But life happens to, quite a lot of people. And sometimes, we go through different phases in our lives that make us start over. But a lot of people fall into this, a lot of people fall into this trap or this situation. Because think about it, if you're 55 years old, you literally have maybe 10 more good years in you in reference to, and this is just my personal opinion, I'm not saying it's factual, but in reference to strength to be able to work, let's say, multiple jobs, or let's say work, 10, 12-hour days and things like that. And you got to make the best of those few years if you're in a situation like that. I mean, I've helped at least five clients so far this year that's literally in that scenario. As a matter of fact, most recently was a young lady who I just helped. She was a client last year, but this year we're kind of like trying to expedite things, which means we're trying to contribute more. And she's right around 57, 58 years old. You understand? So there's a lot of people, I'm meeting them almost every day, of people who either don't have anything saved at all or have $0. You understand? So, but to answer the gentleman's question is, can I start saving now and still retire comfortably? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. But it's going to depend on a couple of things. And here's what I mean. To retire right now, they say you need an average of 1.7 to 1.8 million is how much you need to retire. Now, I don't know if this gentleman can accumulate something like that, and that's 1.7 to 1.8 to live comfortably. And he mentioned, can he still retire comfortably? Everybody's comfort is different. You understand? I believe that 1.7 to 1.8 is based on you probably pulling about 80 to 90 grand a year out. And let's say you're 60 and you die at 90. That should last you. Okay. Now, some people might say, you know what? I don't need that much money every single month. I just need to be able to pay my mortgage or my rent. buy groceries, pay my utilities, and and call it a day. Pay for my health insurance, health care, and stuff like that, and call it a day. Some people may want to travel the world. You understand? Some people may want to live the same way they was living when they were working. Typically, when you're starting so late in life, just being I think you have to be honest with yourself, right? You're gonna have to come to some realization and say, hey, I might not be able to do the things I was doing when I was working as much during retirement. You know what I'm saying? Like some people like they'll let's say they're making 80, 90 grand, 100 grand a year. And they was traveling, they was doing all these things, happy hour, brunches, shopping, just on the go, right? And they never set any money aside. And now they get to the age of 50, 55 years old. Now they want to start saving. I mean, as a matter of fact, because you guys know me, I love. Let's see. Let's do some little work, because the thing with saving and investment is time is a key factor. A lot of people think money is a key factor. Yes, money is important, but time is probably more important than money, because it takes time for your money to accumulate and to grow and get the compounding interest effect. Okay? So if you've wasted a significant amount of time and now you want to get this done in a 10-year span, it might not work out the way you want it to work out. You understand? Yes, you can still save a pretty decent amount of money. You can still be able to pay your bills and do things and whatever, but it might not be the grand life that you envision. Okay? Let me tell you what I mean. Let's do, because I love doing research with you guys, right? How much will I need to save every single month if I'm 55 years old and I want to retire at the age of 65, and I want to, at the age of 65, have $500,000 saved for retirement? How much do I need to save a month? Let's see what AI tells us here. Okay, I kind of already knew it. So to save $500,000 a month, to save $500,000 in 10 years, which is from the age of 55 to the age of 65. Okay, 55 to 65, you will need to save between approximately $3,000 a month and $4,167 per month, depending on your investment return. Okay, so right here it says monthly savings required, assuming $0 start, you had no money. If you save $500 in a non-interest bearing account or keep it as cash, you will need to save a strict $4,167 a month, and you will need to do that for the next 120 months, right? And this is just if you just put the money underneath your mattress or something, okay? And you're not earning any interest at all, right? But it says right here though, if you're earning, let's say 5%, then you need to save $3,225. If you're earning 6%, you need to save $3,100. And if you're earning 8%, you need to save $3,000 a month. Okay? Now, the reason why this is so crucial is you've lost time. And I always say this, it's very hard for a person who has never saved money before or don't have because saving money boils down to pretty much discipline, consistency, discipline, like bam, 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 every single month, bam, 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 nonstop, bang, and not even looking at it. Not even, I was showing a friend of mine, and I only did this just to motivate this individual as to what could be right. I put up my deferred comp plan, and I showed her, right? And she immediately said, woo, trip, 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 trip. I'm like, nah, no, this doesn't exist to me. Somebody has to literally be dying. And that somebody is either myself, my children, or my parents, or my brothers. And if I'm married, my spouse. But outside of that, that money doesn't exist. And I learned that from a gentleman named Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone said he saved so aggressively and so consistently that it was one point where he had $1 million in his savings and he still won't take a vacation because in his mind, that money is for his long-term exit plan. And somebody has to be dying before he even go in there to pull the money out. And that's the way I'm functioning right now. And most people, the reason why they have $0 for their retirement, the reason why they have minimal dollars for retirement, because they'll see the money in there and they say, okay, I can go buy me a house now. You understand? Now, let's say you buy the house cash. I might be okay with that. But if you pull the money out just for a down payment on the house that you're going to pay a mortgage on, it doesn't make sense. I've had clients pull money out to pay for their wedding. I had a client pull out $65,000 to pay for a wedding. Now, she's a client now. She wasn't a client then. She was telling me the story. And whenever a client does something that to me I think is outlandish, I always look at them and say, why? I just want to know. Why? No disrespect. I just want to think about what they did. So the key to retiring is starting now. I've had people who I sat down with and told them, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. And they say, oh, well, I'll get back to you. Never heard from them again. These are people in their 50s. Some people are just going to have to learn the hard way. And some people can start to make a change right away. I've had clients come to my office this year alone who are 50 plus, didn't have any retirement savings at all. And I helped them get started. Because I'm assuming before they reached out to me, they've already started to see it's getting closer and I got to do something. You know what I'm saying? And let me show you why time is important. Let me show you why time is important, right? Let's go to AI again. If I'm 25 years old and I want to retire at 60 and I want to have $2 million saved for retirement, how much do I need to save monthly?
To save $2 million by age 60, you'll need to save roughly $875 to $1,200 each month, assuming a 7% annual return. The exact amount depends on your investment returns and how many years you have until retirement.
You see how wild that is? A 25-year-old wants to save 4 times what you're trying to save. And they have to, and they're contributing damn near 5 times what you have to contribute. That's what time does to you. So a 25-year-old, if they want to save $2 million by the time they're 60, all they have to put away is $875 a month, or so to the $1,200, $875 a month up to $1,200. So that $1,200 is if they're earning $0. I mean, zero interest, right? The 875 is if they're earning 7% interest. Okay, shoot, I got products that allow you to earn more than that. But even at 7%, all they gotta do is put away $875. You understand? Time robs you, or time is probably more important than interest. Time is probably more important than money. You can always make money. You can always earn interest or find interest from somewhere. But what you can never get back is time. So I hope this message reached the right person well today. If you're watching this and you're in the same boat as this gentleman, yes, it is possible. There's different ways of structuring it. I mean, so you can get your plan started and start to be disciplined and start to put away money. Hopefully, you can get some Social Security, and then, mesh the two together. And then when that time comes, you got to now, hopefully your your house is paid off by that time. Start to, minimize some things, and stay within, what you have saved up. But again, this is what time does to you. So if you had started earlier, you can still maybe continue the lifestyle you were living while you were working. But when you start later in life, and if you don't have a significant amount of money to put away, then you may have to minimize some of the things that you will like. You may not be able to travel 5 times a year. You may not be able to do that. You may only be able to travel 1.5 times a year. Okay, you might not be able to do brunches with your girls or whatever like that every Sunday or whatever. Okay, you might not be able to do happy hour. Like it's just things that you may have to start to shrink away. You understand? And just so you know, your healthcare is also on you also. So that's why I tell people, people that have no money saved up, it's a scary thought process, because how are you going to pay for your healthcare? If you don't have any money saved up, one, how you going to feed yourself? How you going to pay for the roof over your head? And then number 2, how are you going to pay for your healthcare? Because if you're no longer at the job anymore, your healthcare is on you. Listen, I'm going to close out with this. If this is something that interests you and you want to learn more, or you just say, you know what, I got to get started. I don't care. I got to get started. I want to sit down with somebody. I need to know what to do. Feel free to text me at 443-208-5480. That's 443-208-5480. I work best with text because I get calls every single day. I don't know who's who. But if you text me, I can respond right back to you. If you don't want to text me, you can email me at evolve@titanevolutiongroup.com. Let me know who you are, what your questions are, what you're looking to do. I'll respond back to you. Or you can also go to my website. I have a plethora of information there. And that is titanevolutiongroup.com. That's titanevolutiongroup.com. Outside of that, listen, the best time to start is right now. Okay? A lot of people, the reason why they're in the position that they're in, because they procrastinate up to this long. Okay? Let's sit down. Let's see how we can slowly ease you in and get you started, and then grow into it little by little, little by little, little by little. Hey, listen, outside of that, I hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed rest of your day. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.